Okay, so this is a quick video on how this little block was created. This little block represents the registration date of the current user that is creating this post. And this is a single post view. And I'll also show the same thing on a list index page where there are multiple users in action. As you can see, registration dates are different. Let's get started with the single post view one, this guy. Okay, we're at the backend code. Our display user registration date right here. This is basically what this guy is. All right. So let's see what we're doing here. Initially, we're just getting the user ID using get current user ID, and then using this function get user data and supplying that current ID, we're getting that user data object. So let's see what's in that object. $udata, save it, and now let's see. There you go. And right here we see that the user registered item is right here. It has the date and the time, everything, right? All right. So let's go disable that. So that means if we just get this udata and user registered, pretty much this guy, then we get the date. And once we get the date, we just drop it into this function right here. I mean, only reason I'm doing it one top of another because that's what client wanted, right? Month, day, year. For example, if we just want to do a regular one, let's just get this copied. And if we just say, what do we get? Right there. See that same information? We're getting it right here in line. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's the 21st and the year is 2021, so it look a little bit weird. But now we can just present it any way we like using that function, printf. And here I'm just creating a span and using a class bg danger text light. I mean, these are all bootstrap classes. I mean, there's pretty much other than this little line here, I'm not really using any custom CSS or anything. These are all bootstrap classes, and all I'm doing is representing this date, month, day, year on top of each other, and that's it. Save that. Let's refresh, and that's how this box is getting created. Now let's go look into these guys right here. Okay, so we are back at the code level again, and this time we're going to look for the template that data is coming from, which is, according to here, category.php. So let's go looking for it right here. So once we get here, we find that it's actually calling get template part from under template parts directory, and the file name is content-category.php. So template parts right here and content-category.php. Let's go in, and right away we see our display user registration date. By now we already know what this is all about, how we're displaying this using bootstrap classes, but only thing different here is that this line, how we are getting that ID. The previous one, we just got the current ID and went to business. But here we have multiple of them lined up, right? It could be multiple users. So how do we do it? We call the get post field, and we pass the post author, and we get that ID for that specific post author. So once we get that user ID, we just pass it through get user data, and we get that user object, and from there we just call in the user registered, put it in this variable, and display like before. And thus we get these guys. Okay, last but not least, this is another representation of that same member registration date is right here. This is rather a normal one because the other ones was differently styled, as you can see here. So let's go check it out how this was built. But before we go to the code, we have to look around this area so that we can locate the template, the target page in question. The template name is template list customer-home. So let's go to the code. All right, so we are back at the code. We find this little area is in question. This is what our target is. As you can see, I'm still using here. The most important part is the user registered. Let's go to the top to find it. Right here, we're getting a current user using WP get current user function. And then from that user object, we're just collecting the current user registered. This is where the date comes in. Then we come back here and put it through the printf statement. We can write whatever string we like here, and this %s is basically a placeholder for this variable right here. So we use a date function and collect the day, month, year, and from this variable reformat it and place it right here in %s place. Thus we get this line right here. And this concludes this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button and the subscribe button. This will help me bring more free contents like this to you every week. Thanks again.